Hello, Boston University. Thank you for having us today. My name is Victor Monga. I am one of the speakers today. Since we only have 10 to 15 minutes per speaker, so for those of you who might be interested in learning more about me, I have an up-to-date profile on LinkedIn and would love to connect you over there. Today I'll be speaking about information security and its relevance in IT versus non-IT domain. Just like our families, security departments are led by their leaders, which are commonly referred to as Chief Information Security Officer, CISO. So I'll speak about roles and responsibilities of CISOs and how it influences an organization. I will repeat myself a few times, reminding ourselves that information cybersecurity is not just an IT problem. It needs to be addressed just like sales, engineering, marketing, or any other non-IT related departments. Yes, information security heavily depends on IT since technology is a crucial part of InfoSec, but that's not it. Information security covers much more than IT. Chief Information Security Officer, CISO, this role was created to secure IT systems and data. However, we have understood that this role is wider than just IT. A common question among companies across industries is whom the CISO should report to. There are many options in play. However, based on a company's cybersecurity risk management, this decision is made. Every option has its pros and cons. CISO's reporting to Chief Information Officer, CIO, is the most widely adopted approach. Since InfoSec budget is directly attached to IT enhancements, so having CIO in your corner does help. However, CISOs are boxed in IT-related security when reporting to CIO. The elements of information security is employees, business policies, HR processes, etc. So having a CISO report to CIO prevent non-IT InfoSec-related influence. Next option is commonly seen at multinational companies, having a CISO report to a Chief Risk Officer, CRO. This helps to inform the board about overall risk of the company instead of just IT-related issues. However, CROs are a bit far from CEO hierarchy, so that puts CISO into a disadvantage. CISOs need money to put compensating controls or remediate attack surface to bring the risk level to an acceptable place for an organization. Who better to provide you the money than Chief Financial Officer, CFO? However, finance people are wired to see return on investment. So cybersecurity, it's hard to quantify ROI on a balance sheet. One of the CISO's job is to protect the sensitive information. Chief Data Officer, CDO, their job is to maximize the value of corporate data. CISO's reporting to Chief Data Officer helps both key players to work together to protect the data. However, CISO's job of protecting data can come in the way of CDO job of amplifying data in the market. As I said, CISO's job was never limited to IT department only. So some companies have adopted a hierarchical structure where CISOs report to Chief Legal Officer, CLO. Since legal teams are responsible for overall company governance, so it helps CISOs to do their jobs. However, CLO are very focused on crisis management instead of a continuous improvement. How about putting a CISO at the same table with board? This option is not widely adopted just yet. If a company is considering this option, that means overall company approach towards taking risk and security seriously is changing. Board is final decision for management and the budget, so it enables CISOs to do their job effectively. However, this means board members should have some knowledge of information or cybersecurity. So far we have gone through 7 options and discussed where CISOs can report to. However, what about who can report to a CISO? CIOs are IT focused. InfoSec has always seen a department assisting IT only. So for companies who are prioritizing security for their organization, they might consider having a CIO report to a CISO. In this hierarchy, CISO will be able to oversee IT security along with non-IT related business functions such as governance, compliance, policy, procedures, and even supply management. Having a CIO report to CISO, you can ensure that senior management will be informed about the IT exposures without any prejudice. Security leaders are rapidly becoming indispensable for an organization's survival. Traditionally, CISOs have come from IT, but that seems to be changing. Supply chain and third-party risks fall under CISO's jurisdiction. CEO have a lot going on. Usually it takes a data breach or a serious security incident before the CISO is asked to present to the CEO and board of directors. In order for a company or companies to take information security seriously, it needs to be seen as a department who's making money instead of just spending money. The way I see it, CISOs are helping companies build customer trust by securing confidential information. They should gain support from senior executives. So far, among most of the companies, IT security is a standalone function and not integrated with other business functions, which is always a point of contention and cause turf and silos issues. This has to change from both sides. Business needs to extend their hand to CISOs to invite security into business functions, and CISOs need to extend help to make transparent security. For a security leader to be effective in her job, it is important that she is given the visibility in enterprise-level risk management. Now, this ownership comes with a lot of responsibility as well. As we have repeated during this session, CISO's job is much more than just IT. If an organization is taking security seriously, then security leaders need to be part of supply chain and vendor management. Recent major attacks were accomplished by using a weak link in third party who have access into your organization. You might have the best technical controls and state-of-the-art security, but what good does that do if third-party access can be compromised? Food for thought. When an organization puts out an intent to acquire other company, have your security leader provide a due diligence as well. Again, security is not about connecting IT infrastructure securely, it's much more than that. IT security posture has shifted from being dependent on network security, or we used to call it perimeter security, to being dependent on application security, endpoint security, identity management. With the adoption of cloud computing, there is no longer a perimeter for an organization to consider security. Now security must follow clients external and internal, who's consuming the services, along the servers who are offering those services and storing your sensitive information. So again, it comes back to how do we enable CISOs to do their job effectively? Money is a key component of that discussion. So CISOs influence usually IT security spending or budget, their staff, their SOC teams, etc. But if they are given visibility into overall security expenditure for the entire organization, that also gives them visibility and ideas how to secure it. CISOs also should have a seat at the table when it comes to risk management budget as well. So once again, don't limit CISO's visibility into IT security budget. They should have visibility into other budgets as well in your organization. Now when it comes to availability, we all have heard of CIA triad of security: confidentiality, integrity, availability. So to gain the support of senior management, CISOs need to recognize the importance of preserving customer and user trust, and mostly comes with keeping up the IT infrastructure available to your end users or customers. This can be achieved by demonstrating the ability to reduce the risk of customer churn through practices that both secure confidential information and protect privacy. We used to have a saying, no IT security. So if there's no infrastructure, you don't need to secure it. As we get closer to the wrap up, to reinforce our topic of the day, CISO's job is not just IT related. So CISOs need to think about total cost of ownership, also known as TCO, return on investment, also known as ROI. How are these products that you're implementing for security is providing total cost of ownership and return on investment? That's what your senior leadership is interested in. If you're asking for money, they are asking for how you're going to make sure that there is return on investment. What are the process for total cost of ownership? That's all the time we had together today. I thank you all for listening to me. I will stand by for Q&A in chat room. Thank you.